Welcome to the tutorial on mastering the Shape tool and node manipulation in CorelDRAW. The Shape tool is used to shape an object to a certain form. Using the Shape tool, you can manipulate the nodes on an object to achieve your desired shape. We covered a few of the following points in the tutorial on mastering the freehand tool in CorelDRAW. I will list them again, plus a few more. A curve object can be of any shape, including a straight line or a curved line. The little blue squares on the outline of an object are called nodes. The line between two nodes is called a segment. Nodes are the connecting points between segments. Segments can be straight or curved. Nodes have control handles for each segment. These control handles can be used to adjust the curve of a segment. Curve objects created in CorelDRAW follow a path. This path defines the objects. We will look at paths in greater detail later in the series. With the exception of drawings made by the drawing tools and spirals, most objects that you add to a drawing will not be curve objects. Therefore, in order to shape them, you will have to first convert them to a curve object. Here is a quick look on how to do that. Here, we have some objects and some text. They are all non-curve objects by default. I can use the Shape tool and select one of these objects, but you will notice that I cannot change anything about this object. In fact, I cannot even grab and move this object around on the canvas. This holds true for all non-curve objects, including text. You will have the same results if you try and use the Shape tool on any of these objects. Switch to the Pick tool and click on the rectangular shape object. Using the Pick tool, you are only able to change the dimensions of this object. But you are not able to change the shape of the object to give it a certain desired shape. Similarly, with the Pick tool, you are able to click on the text and grab one of the black squares on the bounding box and enlarge or reduce the size of the text. But you cannot create a specific shape for the text. The Shape tool is completely ineffective here as well. But if we convert these objects to curve objects, our options for design and shapes grow exponentially. There are a few different ways to convert an object to a curve object. Using the Pick tool, click on an object you wish to convert. Up in the menu bar, click on the menu option, Object. From the drop-down menu, scroll down to Convert to Curves and click on it. This is now a curve object. Now, with the Pick tool, click on a different object to select it. Up in the Properties bar, you can click on this icon Convert to Curves to do exactly that. You are able to select more than one item at a time and convert them to curve objects. You can draw a marquee around the objects you wish to select. Using the keyboard shortcut, press Ctrl-Q, Command-Q on the Mac to convert the selected objects to curve objects. Now, you are able to select any one of these newly created curve objects with the Shape tool and manipulate them as you wish. We will be learning the details on how to manipulate them in a different tutorial. Here, we have 4 curve line objects. Each object is circular in shape. With the Shape tool selected, click on one of these objects. You will note that it has 4 nodes on it, thus dividing the circle into 4 segments. All the nodes on any of these objects can be manipulated several ways to get our desired shape. Click on one of the nodes on this object. In one of the previous tutorials, we briefly talked about these 3 icons up in the Properties bar. The Cusp node, the Smooth node, and the symmetrical node icons. Cusp nodes let you create sharp transitions, creating corners or sharp angles. The control handles in a cusp node are independent of one another and will change only the line on the side of the selected control handle. Having selected a node on object A, you will see two control handles for that node pop up. Click on this icon for the cusp node up in the Properties bar to make it active. Click on one of these two control handles and move it around. You will notice that the control handle on the other side, as well as that side itself, both remain unchanged. Move the selected control handle to form an angle. Release the left mouse button when done. Now, using the Shape tool, click on Object B to select it. With a smooth node, the lines passing through a smooth node take on the shape of a curve. It produces a smooth transition between line segments. Click and select a node on Object B. Once again, two control handles for the selected node pop up. Though the control handles of a smooth node can be at different distances from the node, they are always directly opposite one another. Up in the Properties bar, click on this icon for Smooth Node to make it active. Grab one of the control handles and move it around. You will notice that the line passing through the node connecting the two segments is totally smooth. If you pull the selected control handle away from the node or push it in towards the node, you will note that the control handle on the other side does not show a proportionate movement, but keeps the connection and the flow from one segment to the other totally smooth. Release the left mouse button when done. With the Shape tool selected, click on Object C and then click on a node on this object. Symmetrical nodes, like smooth nodes, create a smooth transition between line segments on either side of the node. But they allow you to give the lines on both sides of the node a similar curve appearance. The control handles of a symmetrical node are always directly opposite each other and at an equal distance from the node. Up in the Properties bar, click on this icon for Symmetrical Node. If it is grayed out, that means it is already active. Otherwise, click on it to make it active. Now, with the left mouse button, grab one of the control handles and move it around. Pull it away from the node and push it in towards the node. You will note the control handle on the opposite side moves in an opposing direction, always at the same distance from the node as the selected control handle. Release the left mouse button when done. You can add as many nodes as you like on any of these four segments. To do that, using the Shape tool, click Object D and then click anywhere on the outline of this object. Up in the Properties bar, you will see a green icon with a plus sign. Click on it to create a new node at the selected location of your choice. Repeat this on a couple of other points along the outline. You can also add nodes by pressing the plus key on your keyboard. This is only possible if you have a numeric keypad on your keyboard. So, click on a node and press the plus sign on the numeric pad of your keyboard and create a new node on the outline. Every time you press the plus sign, you will create a new node. Of course, you can delete nodes just as easily. Select a node by clicking on it with the Shape tool. Click on the red icon with the minus sign up in the Properties bar to remove the selected node. Select another node, but this time press the minus key on the numeric keypad of your keyboard to delete that node. To move a node, click on the object using the Shape tool. Left-click and hold on the node and move it to the desired position. You can place a node at a specific point on the canvas. From the menu bar, click on Window to open the drop-down menu. Scroll down to Dockers. From the sub-menu that opens up, click on Object Coordinates. This will add and open the Object Coordinates Docker in your Dockers panel. Click on this button for multi-point curve to enable it. To place a node at a specific position, use the Shape tool to select the node. This action selects the curve segments on both sides of the selected node. It also highlights the X and Y coordinates of the selected node in the Object Coordinates Docker. Here, type in the X and Y values to specify the exact position for the node placement. I am going to type the X value as 8.5 and the Y value as 6. Depending on where you have created your object, your X and Y values will probably be different than mine. So, you can enter X and Y values according to the X and Y values displayed for your selected node. At this point, clicking the Create Object button adds a new curve object to the drawing. Repeat the same steps by selecting a node on a different object. This action selects the curve segments on both sides of the selected node. It also highlights the X and Y coordinates of the selected node in the Object Coordinates Docker. Here, type in the X and Y values to specify the exact position for the node placement. I will type 4.5 as the X value and 3 as the Y value. Depending on where you have created your object, your X and Y values will probably be different than mine. So, you can enter X and Y values according to the X and Y values displayed for your selected node. This time we will click the Replace Object button. This action replaces the selected curve object with a new one. If you wish to select more than one node, there are a few ways to do that. 1. Click on the first node you wish to select. Then click and hold the Control key, Command key on the Mac, and click on all the other nodes that you wish to select. 2. To select consecutive nodes, click on the first node, and then click and hold down the Shift key, and click on the last node that you wish to select. This process catches all the nodes that lie between these two nodes. 3. To select the first or last node on a curve, press the Home key or the End key on your keyboard. 4. To select a node that follows a selected node, press Tab key on your keyboard. 5. To select a node that precedes a selected node, press Shift plus Tab. 6. Using the Shape key, press and hold the left mouse button. Drag the mouse to draw a rectangular marquee around the nodes you wish to select. Release the left mouse button. 7. With the Shape tool selected, up in the Properties bar, click on the black arrow on the Selection Mode button. To open the drop-down menu, click on Freehand. Click and hold the left mouse button and draw a freehand selection around the nodes you wish to select. When done, you can go back up to the Selection Mode button, up in the Properties bar, and from the drop-down menu, click and revert back to Rectangular. 8. If you wish to select all the nodes on an object, then select the object with the Shape tool. And up in the Properties bar, click on this icon for Select All Nodes. 9. To deselect one or more nodes from a group of selected nodes, press and hold the Control key, Command key on the Mac, and click on all the nodes you wish to deselect. Increasing the number of nodes increases the number of segments. This helps control the shape of the object. But it also makes it difficult to edit and send it to an output device, such as cutters and vinyl printers. To fix this concern, you can reduce the number of nodes on a curve. By reducing the number of nodes, you are also able to automatically get a smoother curve. To illustrate this feature, I'm going to use the Shape tool to click on this object on my canvas. You will see a bunch of nodes pop up all over this object. But note the rather large cluster of nodes up on the top part of this hump. But right now, none of these nodes have been selected. So, click on the icon for Select All Nodes up in the Properties bar. Now, having selected all the nodes present on this object, up in the Properties bar, click on this icon that reads, Reduce Nodes. This action removes all overlapping nodes on the object. As you can see, this busy cluster of nodes has now thinned out to only a few nodes, leaving no overlapping nodes. To smooth the curve around this hump, left-click and draw a marquee around the nodes you wish to select. Now slowly slide the curve smoothness level up in the Properties bar to the right, thus further reducing the number of nodes. As you slowly drag the smoothness slider to the right, you will notice the nodes vanish one at a time. You will also see an outline showing you the expected increased smoothness of the curve as the slider moves to the right. Stop when you get the desired smoothness. Notice the hump where we had that large cluster of nodes is all smooth and in line with the curve on this object. Using the Shape tool, select 2 or more nodes on an object. Now grab one of the nodes and move it around. You will see that the selected nodes move along with your mouse movement, but remain at the same distance as they were before you selected and started to move them. Also, their relative position to each other remains unchanged. Release these selected nodes once done. Now, select a couple of nodes on another object. Up in the Properties bar, this icon is for Stretch and Scale nodes. Click on it to enable it. You will see a bounding box with 8 black squares form around the selected nodes. Now grab one of the black boxes and pull it in one direction or another. Release the left mouse button and observe the distance between these nodes has increased or decreased depending on the direction of the movement of your mouse. The distance would be decreased if you push the bounding box inwards and increased if you pulled the bounding box outwards. You can rotate or skew one of more nodes on an object. Use the Shape tool to select 2 or 3 nodes. Now click on this icon in the Properties bar for Rotate or Skew nodes. You will see a bounding box pop up displaying 4 rotation controls at the 4 corners and 4 skew controls along the 4 sides for skewing the object around the selected nodes. Grab one of the rotation controls with the left click of the mouse and move your mouse to turn the rotation clockwise or anti-clockwise. Release the left mouse button when done. Now, click and grab one of the horizontal skew controls and move the mouse left or right. And release the mouse button when down. Similarly, you can grab one of the vertical skew controls and move the mouse up or down to skew in the vertical direction. This icon in the Properties bar reflects nodes horizontally. This icon next to it reflects nodes vertically. Select 2 nodes on an object and click on the icon to reflect these nodes horizontally. Now, using the left mouse button, grab one of the selected nodes and move it to the right or left. You will notice the other node in this selection moves in the opposite direction, thus increasing or decreasing the distance between the 2 selected nodes. Click on the Reflect nodes horizontally to deactivate it. Select two nodes and click on the Reflect nodes vertically icon in the Properties bar. Left-click on one of the selected nodes and move it up or down. You will notice the other node in this selection moves in the opposite direction, thus increasing or decreasing the distance between the two selected nodes. Click on the Reflect nodes vertically to deactivate it. Select two or more nodes on the object. Grab one of them with the left mouse button and move it around the page. You will notice that all the selected nodes move together and remain at the same distance from each other. Now, click on this icon for Elastic Mode up in the Properties bar. This time when you grab one of the selected nodes and move the group around, you will notice that the distance between the selected nodes increases or decreases depending on the position of the mouse on the page. You can select two or more nodes and align them horizontally or vertically. Select two or more nodes with the Shape tool. This icon in the Properties bar is to align nodes horizontally or vertically. Click on it for the pop-up window giving you the option to align these nodes horizontally, vertically, or horizontally and vertically, including the alignment of the control points of the selected nodes. If the box next to Align Vertically has a check mark in it, click on it to remove the check mark. You will notice that the option to align the control points gets grayed out. So, we have opted to align these nodes horizontally. Click OK and the selected nodes are aligned horizontally. Note that the node that you select last will act as the anchor and the rest of the selected nodes will align to its Y coordinate. Now select two or more nodes and click on the Align Nodes icon in the Properties bar. This time uncheck the box against the Align Horizontally option and put a check mark in the box next to the Align Vertically option. Click OK to see the selected nodes aligned vertically. Select two or more nodes and click on the icon for Align Nodes in the Properties bar. This time, place a check mark against all the options offered in the pop-up window. When you click OK, you see that all the selected nodes align on top of the node you selected last, and their control points are also aligned. This brings us to the end of this tutorial on mastering the Shape tool and node manipulation in CorelDRAW. Using the Shape tool and the ability to successfully add, remove, move, and position nodes is crucial to your skill to be able to create complex shapes and drawings. So, please take your time to practice as much as you need to master this tool. Next, we will start by learning about the Artistic Media tool. We will learn about preset, brush, sprayer, calligraphic, and expression tools. To learn about the Artistic Media tool, please access the Mastering the Artistic Media tool in CorelDRAW tutorial, or click on the link provided below in the description of this video. To access the previously published tutorials, please click on the links provided below for those tutorials in the description of this video.